Camino Portuguese lessons. Lesson number 2, putting myself first. When hiking with others and chatting, which happened many, many times while I was hiking the Camino Portuguese, quite often I'd be really getting along with them in a good conversation, sometimes not. But bottom line is I was often enjoying hiking with different people. And, I knew ahead of the time that I was going to be taking opportunities to stop, to take photos, to take short videos. And I would always let them know, hey, I'm just going to take a short photo. And what happens sometimes is those people would just keep going. It's like they didn't hear what I said. So I would just wish them well and then do my own thing. Sometimes I'd see them later on, or I'd pass them and I'd just say hello. I wouldn't re-engage in conversation because I thought, you know what? If that person cannot wait 5 seconds for me to take a photo or a video, I don't really want to talk to them that much more. So that happened to me probably about 10 times, I would say, during my Camino Portuguese. Sorry, I was just looking at my notes. What happened sometimes too, which was really awesome, is I'd be getting along with people and we'd maybe go for supper and then they'd plan to go for drinks. And as you may or not know, I've been a non-drinker for 12 years. I'm okay going out for a drink, just having a juice or a mineral water or whatever. But bottom line is, a lot of the times I was just kind of spent for the day. I just wanted to go back to my hotel or bed and relax. I didn't want to be out socializing still at 10, 11 p.m. Because quite often when I was invited for drinks on those days, those were long days and I was starting pretty early. So while I was really thankful and I always made sure to thank the person for asking, I always said no to go out for drinks. And for those of you who know me, you wouldn't be surprised, but especially on this trip, because I really wanted to make sure that I was giving my body the rest that it needed and deserved. Sometimes when I was hiking with others, I would of course get hungry and I would ask them, hey, do you want to stop for a bite to eat? And if they said no, there again, I would just wish them well and I'd be okay with that. Sometimes, of course, I was disappointed because I was really getting along with that person and wanted to keep the conversation going. But you know what? It is what it is. People had different schedules. Some people ate a lot during this trip. I met a German man who he only ate supper, and he told me that he's done multiple Caminos and that every Camino he loses about 12 kilograms, which is roughly 26, 28 pounds. And for me, if I lost 26 or 28 pounds, you wouldn't see much of me. I'd be anorexic at that point. And I remember when I was doing a big day from Camina to Bayona, I knew that would be a big day because I had to take a short boat ride across the river into Spain. There was a time change, and then I had about a 38K hike planned. And what was interesting that day is that anything I'd read, or in a lot of places, it said that I would gain an hour with the time change. So my understanding with gaining an hour is that if it's, let's say, 7:30 a.m. in Portugal, that I'll gain an hour, take the boat across to Spain, and it'll be 6:30 a.m. But no, I lost an hour. So I got the first boat possible out of Camina, just before 7:30 a.m. Portugal time. And I got talking to some really interesting people on the boat. There was a German man, there was a British couple, an American woman. And basically, except for the German man, we got talking, the four of us, and it was a great conversation. As soon as we got off the boat, I realized that, hey, no, I didn't gain an hour, I lost an hour. It's now 8:30 a.m. So I was kind of like, crap. Got a 38K hike ahead and lost an hour. And so anyways, I was talking with the UK couple, the American woman, and obviously it's a different country, but it's the same trail, and there's trail markers everywhere. It's just kind of getting your bearings, finding the first trail marker, and then going. And most people doing this Camino Portuguese, in my experience, use some sort of app where they have the actual trail on a GPS map. So most of us were just kind of bringing up our phones, and then I found the trail. I slowly started walking, and then I said to the others, "Oh, I've got the trail," and they were just kind of dilly-dallying around. And I thought, you know what? They seem like cool people, but I've got a big day here, and I just can't be dallying around like this. And that part of Spain, I mean, the harbor, it wasn't anything beautiful or spectacular or anything. And I thought, you know what? Again, I just wished them well. I put myself first and started walking. And I just did a normal pace. I wasn't like crushing it or anything. But about an hour into the hike, the German man who we didn't really talk with on the boat, he caught up to me. His name was Rolf. And we actually had an awesome conversation for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then he had shared with me that he was doing this Camino for stress leave. He was, I'm guessing, mid-50s, married with kids in a stressful job. And so I told him at about the 2 hour mark that I wanted to stop and just put on some sunscreen, have a break. And he said, well, I just want to keep going and I'd prefer to be on my own. And I'm like, okay, that was cool. So, and I really respected him for saying it. And he said it in a really kind way. And then sure enough, I ended up stopping at a cafe maybe about 45 minutes after that, and he was there. So we said a quick few words. And again, I wished him well, which on the Camino is buen Camino. And yeah, so in all those times I put myself first. And, you know, at this point in my life, I'm getting much, much better, increasingly better with putting myself first. And I do know at times in my life I have always put others ahead of me, being nice, being kind, being considerate. And I'd like to think I am still a kind, considerate person. That being said, I do feel it's very important to put myself first, and of course for you to put yourself first. Thanks again for watching this video. If you're enjoying these lessons, check out the other ones. And if you're not aware, I do have other videos posted about my Camino Portuguese trip, which I'll link below. Consider liking and or subscribing if you're receiving value from these videos. Take care and be well.